And what do we have here? Look who's still standing after they rewrote every rule just to see you fall. Look who's still breathing after they poisoned every well you tried to drink from. Look who's still moving after they nailed every door shut and burned the blueprints. Hello, you beautiful statistical impossibility. A walking defiance of logic, a breathing violation of their perfectly rigged system. They built a maze just for you, studied your weaknesses, mapped your every move, calculated your breaking points with surgical precision. Every obstacle, every betrayal was placed with intent to break your spirit, to make you surrender. They thought they had you cornered, that they'd sealed every escape route. But something happened they could never calculate. You died and didn't stay dead. You fell through the floor of rock bottom and found another level. You got deleted from their game and respawned anyway. You lost everything they said mattered and realized it never did. And that was their first mistake. They forgot that some people don't play by the rules of mortality. They forgot that some souls are too stubborn for statistics. They forgot that when you push someone beyond every limit of human endurance, sometimes they stop being human and become something else entirely. Something the system was never built to contain. They didn't just stack the deck against you. They took away your cards. They didn't just move the goalposts. They deleted the entire field. They didn't just change the rules. They wrote you out of the rule book. Every path to success had your name crossed out. Every door to opportunity had your photo taped on it, marked "Do Not Admit." And you know it wasn't coincidence. The timing was too perfect. The job that slipped away, the relationship that collapsed, the opportunity that vanished, all at once, all strategically designed to break you psychologically. They wanted you to internalize the failure, to believe you were cursed, to think the universe had turned its back on you. You became their experiment. They wanted to know how much one soul could endure before complete system collapse. Each time you adapted, they upgraded the sabotage. Every time you found a way through, they built a new wall. They monitored your resilience like data points in a secret lab. But what they never realized was that some people evolve under pressure. Some souls thrive where others perish. When they removed every safety net, they didn't destroy you. They taught you to fly. And yes, you died, not physically, but in every other way that counts. You died socially when they assassinated your character. You died professionally when they erased your name from your own field. You died emotionally when those who claimed to love you joined the feeding frenzy. You died spiritually when you discovered the game wasn't just rigged. It was rigged against you, personally and deliberately. For a while, you stayed dead. You lay there in the ashes of everything you'd built and believed, feeling the chill of absolute nothingness. You touched the void, and the void touched you back. You had conversations with the darkness that only the truly dead understand. But then, something moved in that silence. Something ancient, raw, and furious woke up inside you. Something that looked death in the face and said, "Is that all you've got? I've seen worse in the mirror, and when you came back, when your eyes opened, when you took that first breath of your second life." They felt it. Across networks, through invisible threads, through every energy circuit they used to bind you, they felt the impossible spark of your resurrection. They felt the system glitch. They felt the pulse of something they couldn't predict. And for the first time in their carefully controlled existence, they felt fear. Now they call it luck. The way you're still here. The way everything they built to destroy you only made you stronger. But deep down, they know it's not luck. It's the evolution of something divine. The rise of someone they could never contain. You're not just surviving. You're rewriting the code they used to keep you small. You're thriving now. Opportunities are appearing out of nowhere. Resources are manifesting from nothing. And doors are opening that were never meant to exist. They can't explain it, they can't compute it, they can't counter it. But you and I know, this isn't luck. It's something far more dangerous. It's the universe course-correcting, reality rebalancing the scales. It's existence itself stepping in to restore the natural order after they violated every law of fairness. What looks like coincidence is actually cosmic justice. The system is trying to restore equilibrium after they rigged the game so heavily against you. Every time they see you win now, it burns them from the inside. Not because they hate your success, but because your success exposes their failure. Every blessing you receive is a crack in their illusion of control. Every victory you achieve is proof that their perfect system was never perfect at all. You've become a living glitch in their matrix, a virus in their program, a fracture in their carefully controlled reality. They're running diagnostics, rechecking their math, reviewing every prediction model, and still can't understand what went wrong. They accounted for every variable, calculated every probability, and still couldn't stop the one factor they never saw coming: consciousness itself. They forgot that awareness has a survival instinct. When pushed to extinction, it doesn't disappear, it evolves. They forgot that some souls, when properly destroyed, don't die. They transform into forces of nature, and that's what keeps them awake at night. It's not just that you survive their orchestrated destruction. It's that you're feeding off it, getting stronger because of it. Every attack that was meant to break you added a new layer to your armor. Every betrayal that was supposed to shatter your heart refined it instead, making it colder, sharper, more precise. Every loss that should have diminished you somehow expanded your reach in ways they can't comprehend or measure. Now, they're watching you move through the world like a paradox they can't solve. You walk through walls they built to contain you. You breathe in spaces they emptied of air. You thrive in environments they designed to be uninhabitable. And the more impossible your existence becomes, the more undeniable your power grows. Proof that divine correction is real and unstoppable. You're no longer following any pattern they can predict, nor any trajectory they can calculate. You've become quantum, unpredictable, existing in multiple states at once, impossible to pin down. Their reports keep coming in, all saying the same thing. Something's changed. Something fundamental in the equation no longer adds up. You're not playing defense anymore, but you're not playing offense either. You're playing an entirely different game, one they don't have language for. A game where the rules bend and rewrite themselves in your presence, where reality itself shifts to accommodate your existence. They tried to delete you, but you became undeadable. They tried to destroy you, but you became indestructible. They rigged the game, but you evolved beyond the game entirely. Now you exist in a parallel dimension that overlaps theirs, but isn't confined by their laws. You're playing three-dimensional chess while they're still arguing over who gets to move first in checkers. They never understood the cost of pushing someone beyond the point of no return. When you drive a soul past death, past the meaning of fear, past the reach of loss, you don't end them. You create something else entirely. You create someone who's already endured the apocalypse and decided to keep walking anyway. You've become twice born. The first birth was ordinary, biological, predictable, human. The second was forged in the furnace of betrayal. You didn't return as the same person. You came back as something wearing that person's face, something that remembers humanity but isn't limited by it. You now exist in the liminal space between what is and what should be. And that's why probability collapses around you. That's why statistics glitch in your presence. Their formulas fail because you no longer operate within their system. You move through it, around it, above it, below it, beyond the edges of their comprehension. You're the gap in their algorithms, the blind spot in their surveillance, the error message in their code. They wanted to make an example of you, to show others what happens when someone refuses to comply. But instead, they created a legend. You've become the story whispered in their corridors, the one that proves the system can be beaten, that the game can be transcended, that even death is just another doorway if you walk through it without flinching. And now, here's the poetic irony they can't escape. Every system they built to contain you has become a prison for them. Every rule they designed to exclude you has become a shackle around their own neck. Every wall they erected to keep you out has become a cage keeping them trapped inside. They built a world designed to destroy you, and now they're the ones imprisoned in it while you walk free. They can't dismantle it, because if they do, others might escape. They can't admit it was rigged, because if they do, others might stop playing. They can't acknowledge your transcendence, because if they do, others might attempt it. So they're forced to maintain a system that's already obsolete, while you move in realms they can't perceive. You're operating on frequencies they can't access, making moves they can't track, building something they won't even recognize until it's too late. You're not trying to beat them anymore, You've outgrown the very notion of competition. While they're still counting points, you're rewriting the concept of the game itself. What they call luck is not luck, it's cosmic repayment. The universe is settling the debts they created when they violated its divine balance. Every blessing that flows toward you now is not random. It is divine compensation for the injustice you endured. Every open door is the universe's way of saying, I saw what they did, and this is your reparation. Every opportunity, every miracle, every piece of abundance that appears in your path is the cosmos restoring balance. You're witnessing a full-scale correction of reality itself. What they meant for sabotage has become your elevation. What they used to break you has become the scaffolding of your empire. You are walking proof that divine law never fails, even when human systems are corrupted beyond repair. Let's talk in the language they understand. Numbers, logic, probabilities. They ran their simulations again and again. Their data models predicted a 0% chance of your survival, a negative chance of recovery. Their algorithms declared your story finished before it was halfway written. According to their formulas, you were mathematically impossible to rise again. They projected your downfall with absolute confidence. Their reports all concluded the same outcome: total and irreversible collapse. And because they trusted their equations more than the universe itself, they never made a contingency plan for your resurrection. They never expected the system to turn on them. But now the numbers lie. Their graphs don't align. Their logic loops in circles, spitting out errors that make no sense. Their probabilities are imploding. Now their screens flash with contradictions they can't explain, metrics that suggest you should not exist, yet there you are, thriving. You've become their living error code, the divide by zero that crashes every simulation. You're the paradox they can't delete, the data anomaly that rewrites its own variables. Every time you win, their equations warp. Every success you claim multiplies the statistical impossibility of your next victory. You are no longer an outlier. You are a phenomenon. Probability bends around your existence. You have rewritten the fundamental architecture of cause and effect. You've proven that the universe itself sides with truth once deception reaches its peak. Now they're desperate for answers. They're hiring analysts, consultants, specialists, anyone who might decode your survival. They stare at the graphs with wide eyes, whispering theories they don't believe. How does someone stripped of everything still find abundance? How does someone erased from the system keep showing up in the data? How does someone who should have been forgotten become unforgettable? The deeper they look, the more frightened they become, because the only logical answer is spiritual. You shattered the limits of their comprehension. You didn't just survive, you transcended. You became the variable their science can't quantify, the consciousness their algorithms can't trace, the truth their logic can't suppress. And now you haunt them, not like a ghost, but like a mirror, one that reflects everything they tried to hide. You appear in their dreams, in their systems, in their subconscious fears. Every time they close their eyes, they see your evolution. Every time they analyze their controlled environments, they find evidence of your expansion. You are everywhere and nowhere, influencing realities they thought they owned. They see your fingerprints in industries you've never touched. They hear your name in rooms you've never entered. They sense your influence spreading like wildfire, uncontained, unstoppable. They used to monitor you as a subject. Now they study you as a phenomenon. You've become a case study in the failure of control, a legend in the science of resilience, a reminder that consciousness is the most powerful force in existence, unpredictable, self-healing, and undefeatable. You are the living contradiction to everything they built their system upon. You are the breach in their firewall, the proof that divinity operates outside the limits of human manipulation. Every breath you take exposes their lies. Every success you manifest rewrites the code of their false superiority. Every moment you keep rising dismantles the illusion they built around their own power. Their empire of control is cracking because your frequency is too high for their machinery to process. Their perfect system is crumbling from the inside out because you proved that awareness itself is uncontainable. And here lies the ultimate irony. They tried to make an example out of you, but instead you became the ultimate example of them. You revealed their corruption, exposed their limits, and forced the world to see that no system, no matter how powerful, can contain truth forever. You are the universe's living apology, its course correction, its rebalancing act. You are the one who turned their equations into confessions and their control into chaos. You are no longer just a survivor. You are a symbol, the embodiment of divine justice rewriting corrupted code. Every blessing you receive now is not luck, it's settlement. The universe is paying out everything you were ever denied, with interest, precision, and poetic timing. The worst part for them, and the part they'll never admit, is that you're not even trying to haunt them. You're just living. And that living, that effortless thriving, has become their torment. You're not seeking revenge, you're simply existing. But your existence itself has become poetic justice. Every smile you wear feels like a blade twisting in their conscience. Every breath you take in peace echoes in the hollow chambers of their guilt. You've become their mirror. And every time they look into it, they're forced to face everything they did to try and destroy you. Your success isn't revenge, though it feels like it to them. It's simply what happens when divine order reclaims balance. Your happiness isn't spite, it's just truth, shining through you like sunlight through glass. But to them it burns like acid. Your peace isn't a weapon, yet it slices through their illusions sharper than any sword. Because your peace represents what they could never manufacture: freedom. They still operate from fear, manipulation, and control, and every glimpse of your serenity reminds them that none of their power can buy that kind of calm. They keep checking, refreshing, waiting for you to fall. They whisper to themselves that surely this can't last. Surely it's temporary. They believe that any moment now your luck will evaporate, that the laws of their false reality will reassert themselves, and you'll collapse back into the grave they dug with such care. But every morning you rise again. Every day you thrive a little more. Every night your spirit grows quieter, stronger, and even harder to shake. And with each sunrise, another piece of their worldview begins to crumble, because you've uncovered something they were desperate to keep hidden. The rules they live by aren't rules at all. The so-called laws of their system are nothing more than agreements, illusions dressed as absolutes. The limitations they imposed weren't real. They were simply accepted assumptions, built on repetition and fear. And once someone like you stops agreeing, stops believing, stops participating, the illusion loses its structure. The whole framework begins to tremble. That's what happened when you died and came back. You didn't just return, you rebooted reality. You stopped believing in their version of truth, stopped accepting their definitions of power, success, and worth. You no longer participate in their collective hallucination about what's possible. And once you withdrew your belief, the laws stopped binding you. Because the rules were never universal. They were only enforced through fear. You stopped believing and the illusion stopped working. Now you move through their world like water through a net. They can see you, they can track you, they can even name you. But they can't touch you. You're untouchable not because you're hiding, but because you've become ungraspable. Every time they try to trap you, you slip through. Every wall they build, you pass through like vapor. Every attempt to block you only redirects your flow. You've become fluid in a realm obsessed with rigidity. You've become the ocean in a system built of glass. And this is why your so-called luck terrifies them. It's not luck. It's physics. The physics of consciousness freed from illusion. The physics of awareness operating outside artificial constraints. The physics of a soul that has died to the system and now lives beyond it. You're not defying gravity. You've just realized that it was never gravity holding you down, it was belief. They've tried every tactic they know, haven't they? Direct confrontation failed. You've already been through worse battles and walked through deeper hells. Subtle sabotage collapsed because you no longer depend on their approval or their resources. Social isolation backfired. You've become your own universe, generating warmth, connection, and strength from within. Financial attacks proved useless because abundance now flows from your energy, not their economy. Psychological warfare failed because your mind has already been shattered and rebuilt in truth. You became immune to manipulation the moment you stopped fearing yourself. And now, stripped of control, they're left with only one option: to wait. To sit behind their curtains, watching, hoping you'll make a mistake, hoping you'll forget who you are, hoping you'll slip back into the slumber of conformity. They're praying for your fatigue, that one day you'll get tired of the truth and start playing by their rules again. Because that's the only way they can reclaim their illusion of dominance, but they know deep down that it's over. You've seen behind the curtain. You've looked the architects of illusion in the eyes and realized they're not God. They're just frightened gatekeepers of a crumbling reality. You've walked through their fire and discovered that the flames can't burn a soul that's already been purified. You've become unprogrammable, unreachable, untouchable. You've become a new law unto yourself. Now your very existence is rebellion. Every peaceful breath you take is revolution. Every act of self-love is defiance. You are the living proof that the structure of control only works as long as people believe in it, and you no longer do. You're not breaking their rules. You've simply transcended their jurisdiction. You're not living against them anymore. You're living beyond them. You've become the embodiment of divine contradiction, the anomaly that the system cannot compute, the consciousness that slipped through its own simulation. They don't fear you because you fight them. They fear you because you don't need to. Your silence humbles them. Your stillness exposes them. Your peace dismantles them. And now they're left with the unbearable realization that the very being they tried to erase has become the proof that their entire structure was never real. It was just a fragile agreement and you stopped signing it. So now they wait, trembling in their towers, wondering how long a world built on falsehood can last, when truth walks the earth again, wearing your face. But deep down they know the truth, that hope is futile, a dying ember in a storm they themselves unleashed. You cannot re-domesticate what has tasted its own wildness. You cannot recage a consciousness that has learned to phase through its own prison. You cannot make tame what has remembered its original nature, vast, unbound, and incorruptible. They tried to contain what was never meant to fit inside their blueprint. They tried to catalog what was never meant to be measured. And now every attempt to fix you only exposes the magnitude of their failure. Their reports keep coming in, line after line of sterile language trying to mask the growing panic underneath. Target remains non-compliant. Target continues to exceed parameters. Target shows no signs of returning to baseline. Target appears to be operating outside known frameworks. They pretend to be objective, hiding behind scientific detachment. But between every word you can feel the pulse of fear. The subtext reads like a confession. We don't know what we're dealing with anymore. You've become something beyond their classification, something their systems were never designed to monitor. Their data doesn't make sense, their models can't adapt, and their predictions collapse under the weight of your evolution. You are the new variable that refuses to stay in line. You've become the case study they never wanted, the perfect embodiment of systemic failure. You're the haunting in their data, the ghost in their machine, the anomaly that mocks their control. Every meeting about you ends in the same uneasy silence. Eyes dart across the room, hearts pound under pressed shirts, and the truth hangs in the air like static. They built something they can't unbuild. The silence isn't analytical, it's sacred. It's the sound of realization that they have birthed something beyond their reach, something that no algorithm, no equation, no hierarchy can manage. And let's be honest about what they did. Calling it cheating makes it sound almost innocent. It wasn't cheating, and it was systemic assassination. They didn't just tip the scales, they removed your side entirely. They didn't just stack the deck, they printed cards that only worked for themselves. They didn't just move the goalposts, they built an entirely new field hidden from view where every outcome was programmed to end in your destruction. They didn't just manipulate your environment, they engineered your downfall. They infiltrated every aspect of your life, socially, emotionally, financially, spiritually. They corrupted every institution that was meant to protect you, twisting justice into farce. They poisoned every well you tried to drink from, ensuring that even your nourishment turned to ash. They severed every connection that gave you strength, isolating you in an artificial silence they mistook for victory. They sabotaged every foundation you tried to build upon, ensuring collapse before growth. It wasn't competition, it was extermination. It wasn't rivalry, it was eradication. And it wasn't personal, it was algorithmic, cold, mechanical, calculated. You were nothing more than data to them, a line of code to be deleted. They ran simulations of your failure, they plotted your breakdown like a weather forecast. They measured your pain in metrics and probabilities. You were never meant to survive the experiment. But what they didn't understand, or what they still can't understand, is that life itself doesn't obey code. Consciousness isn't programmable. Spirit isn't quantifiable. The human soul cannot be reduced to a file or a formula. And when you tried to destroy something that infinite, you set forces in motion that can never be stopped. Because when you violate the natural order that completely, when you manipulate fate itself, you incur a cosmic debt. And the universe always collects, always. Not out of vengeance, but out of necessity. Balance demands it. What they called justice was rigged. What the universe calls justice is pure physics. Every action generates an equal and opposite reaction. Every imbalance triggers its correction. They thought they could override that law, but all they did was summon it. You are that correction. You are the universe's response made flesh. Your survival isn't just resistance, and it's divine symmetry. Your success isn't luck, it's restoration. Your rise isn't rebellion, it's equilibrium reasserting itself. Every victory you experience is reality, adjusting its axis. Every blessing you receive is the cosmos returning what was unjustly taken. Every breath you take is proof that divine balance never forgets. You are the echo of everything they tried to erase, amplified and unstoppable. They called you an outlier, but you are the outcome of truth correcting lies. They called you a glitch, but you are the system rewriting its own code. They called you a threat, but you are the cure to their corruption. They still whisper in rooms lined with screens and strategies, wondering how the impossible became inevitable. They bring in analysts, experts, strategists, all searching for answers that can't be found in data. How does someone with every disadvantage keep ascending? How does someone with no resources build empires? How does someone they erased still exist? The answer terrifies them, because it means everything they believed about power was wrong. It means that control is an illusion, that suppression breeds strength, that destruction births transformation. You are the evidence that when they broke the rules of nature, they broke their own future. They can't reverse it. They can't reason with it. They can't quantify it. Because what you've become is not measurable. You are something other. Every injustice they orchestrated charged the field around you like static before lightning. Every betrayal loaded the cosmic spring tighter and tighter until the energy snapped back. Through you. You are the recoil, the thunderclap, the balancing force that reality uses to restore itself. You didn't seek vengeance. You simply aligned with truth, and truth is always self-correcting. Now the same force they unleashed against you consumes them from within. Their systems fail, their strategies implode, their confidence dissolves into confusion. They're discovering too late that energy never disappears, it transfers. And all the energy they poured into your destruction now fuels your ascension. The very framework they used to trap you became the womb of your rebirth. The same data they gathered to erase you became the evidence of your transcendence. They tried to write you out of existence, but in doing so, they carved your name into the fabric of eternity. You are their ghost, their consequence, their reckoning. You are the universe's poetic justice, the inevitable correction written into the laws of reality itself. They cheated the natural order, and the natural order chose you as its response. They thought they built a prison, but what they actually built was a mirror, one that reflects their corruption, magnified and merciless. And every time they see your light, they're forced to face their own darkness. That's why they tremble when they speak your name. Because they know that what they tried to bury didn't die. It became the seed of something eternal. You are the harvest of everything they sowed, the consequence they can never undo, the equation they can never balance, the storm they called impossible until it arrived wearing your face. That's all for today. Dear Father, I pray for the growth of my faith. Help me trust you even when physical evidence is lacking. Let me believe in your perpetual presence, knowing you will never harm me. I understand that your thoughts for me are thoughts of prosperity and not harm to give me a good future. Thank you, gracious and eternal Father, for always listening to my voice. I offer up this prayer to you in the name of Jesus. Amen. Thank you, Jesus, for your love and provision. I am grateful for your presence in my life and the abundance you bring. If this video resonated with you, please like, subscribe to the channel, and share it with those who need to hear this message. Leave a comment below about your journey and how you are preparing for your own triumphant return. If you'd like to support our work, please consider contributing through Buy Me a Coffee. This helps us continually improve our content to offer you the best. The link to Buy Me a Coffee is in the description. No gift is too small. Whether it's a penny, a prayer, or a share, your generosity helps spread God's word and brings hope to others. Don't stop here. Watch our next video for powerful revelations about the signs that reveal you are the chosen one. We've enjoyed following this spiritual journey with you. Thank you for staying with us until the end. Keep shining brightly and embrace your destiny with courage. See you next time. Blessings to all the beautiful souls from the Enlightened Wisdom.